They call it the Uber of babysitting. Would you leave your kids with a stranger? So we've now got companies like Goby, and in New Zealand there's Citizen, where you can sort of look up an app, write babysitter locally. I'll get a stranger into the house to look after my kids. Fiona, is this an answer to all your prayers?
No. No.
No.
The only person that has looked after my children other than my husband and I has been my parents and my siblings.
So you wouldn't use any sort of service, even an application where you can go, look, there's someone local, they can come round now and look after my kids. I've got to go out and do this. Or
let's be honest, we live in a day and age where there is so many child exploitation rings. There's, a lot of children being abused, and I'm just not going to be putting myself in a position where my kids will be
But these
abused.
kids, these people who are sitting get a rating, like people rate them. So it's like other programs where you can't, you're not going to get someone who's got a low rating. You're going to go for the one who's got credentials there. It's not just
And some of the sites have, they have to have working with children, they have to have police checks.
But you can force that. You can force that.
It's as safe as what you're going to have with a school teacher or a childcare worker, or they have to have the same...
Well, I think
with
that's
Fiona.
different.
Yeah,
I think that's different. They're established organisations. You would hope that there's been screening
There's some
done.
kind of accountability there as well.
I think it's a great idea because I didn't have family around. So for me, I had to find babysitters, and the 16-year-old who lived down the street who I barely knew anyway. At least this way.
It's a different day and age. This day, people have phones. They can do anything to your children, and next thing you know, it's gone live. So I worry about that.
Especially with them not being able to talk, like Jack's not being able to tell me what's happening. I think I have a huge issue with that, and I think I'm much more protective of my kid than I am sharing my car. Like a lot of the car sharing apps that they have. It's so different with your child. You never know what could happen, and they're trusting you.
Like you said, accountability. I think as parents, that's our responsibility. The children are our responsibility. So to just think that, oh, God's going to look after us, and it's negligent if you just hope for the best with someone.
No, but in the article, they said that the lady was screening, like she was interviewing them as well. So you'd have a gut feeling about whether they were good or bad or whatever.
But I think basically you're looking at an app. It's like Tinder. You're going through, you're looking at a photo, you're looking at the best side of themselves that they're putting forward, and who knows what they're going to be doing with your kids.
And see so many horror stories of children being abused at home from people.
Well, then who becomes accountable in this situation?
I think it's a legal grey area that they're saying. They're not exactly sure who's accountable. The app is saying we're not responsible.
This is just a forum, like, to sort of connect people.
They're saying the babysitter's responsible, but who wants to then go and press charges? You'd rather nothing happen to your child than to have to later press charges.
But it's got to be a huge help, as you said before, a huge help to people who don't have support but just desperately need to get something done with our kids or need that break,
Well, I know for us, if it doesn't work for our children at the moment because they're so young, then we don't roll. My kids aren't rolling, I'm not rolling.
I mean, I think being sympathetic to people who don't have an option, I think the great thing is to ask in mothers groups, ask other people who they use as a babysitter. There are other options for finding babysitters besides using an app with so much anonymity.
Well, it's important to develop relationships with people that you're entrusting your children under their care. I think that's...
Yeah, well, look, everyone's got their own journey and their own path to use. New Daily was saying that lots of people were using it and it's a growing market. So, I don't know, what do you think? Jump onto our social media and let us know on Facebook. You can also follow us on Instagram, and don't forget to check us out on YouTube as well.